the other day. I was watching something and it hit me. So what I did was I copied the the transcript on Facebook. I didn't know that you could do that. I'm so busy taking notes. You know how swell that's going when you use the envelopes. Sheesh. Small pieces of paper. My notes and my journaling are all over the place. So what I decided to do was I'm going to start my journaling. I can't seem to do my journals and get my books and stuff like that all in the same place yet. But I'm a work in progress. Don't judge me. So um, this is kind of where I am. I got this from frequency tuning videos on TikTok reaction. You know you got the right one when you see this lady. She's kind of pretty, but that's because of her age. We don't know what she's going to look like when she gets older. If you want to know what she's going to look like 20 years from now, look at her mama. Okay. That's how we used to tell, or at least that's how I used to tell. I don't know where I picked up that wisdom, but it's working for me. All right, so frequency tuning videos on TikTok. Don't judge the book by its cover. When I first saw this, I thought it was going to be frequencies, people playing bells and stuff like that. And it actually wasn't. It was people, regular people. These types of people. Oh boy, where'd that come from? These types of people would probably give you their shirts off of their back, and you may be subjected to just walking right past them. I noticed that there are people who are willing to give you the shirt off of their back. And I was saying as much recently on my community web page I'm part of. And if I just saw people, helping each other shovel their sidewalks and stuff like that there. Well, somebody actually shoveled my sidewalk. They shoveled it from my steps. They didn't go up on the porch or anything. They shoveled the sidewalk enough where you can walk on without going, doing the walk. And they shoveled it right down to my car door. And it is, nobody ever did that for me before. I don't know who did it. I don't want to give credit to my neighbor next door, but maybe my neighbor from next door did. I know. Why don't you just ask? Uh, if you live long enough, you know how relationships with neighbors are. I actually got along with my neighbor quite well when they first moved in. I was kind of balling, and I would buy 2 meals for $20 from a restaurant. What was the name? Applebee's. For those of you, hey, SR, how you doing? Grand Rising. I'm from the United States of America. Where are you from? Where are you from? Central Asia. Okay, okay. You got any snow over there? We just had a snowmageddon. Looked like it was going that way when we finally got out of it. We still got the snow. It's got to go somewhere. No. No, I like people, but not enough to become an Uber driver or taxi driver or anything like that. Because, as you can tell, I'm kind of talkative. And the first time I had a customer didn't want it to be that doesn't want to be talkative, it will kind of mess with my head throughout the day. So, oh, okay, okay. Well, you must be on the 33rd parallel or something like that there, or near the equator or something. I'm not actually looking at the map. When you think of Asia, you don't actually you don't see it in your head. But if it's warm, okay. We have this little groundhog that every February the 2nd, everybody gets dressed up that in the community and they pull a groundhog out and they predict if we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter if this groundhog that they pull out sees its shadow. Okay. It's called Groundhog Day. And they pull them out in the morning, I guess around 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or something, when whatever time sunrise is. And they pulled him out today. He saw the shadow, and it's going to be 6 more weeks of winter for us. I believe it because the snow is not going anywhere, and it's really been nice since the light snow will melt if it's 20 to 30 degrees, but we had a couple of those days, and the snow's not going anywhere. We called it Snowmageddon. Hey, Suburban. Oh, Suburban. Hold on. Here I go. I'm pushing buttons. Grand Rising. Hmm. Oh, wow. What happened? Okay. I'm getting someone coming through, and it's in some other language. Oh boy. I hope I didn't hit a button somewhere because I'm known for doing that. Okay, so I haven't heard any message that was worth me deleting. I'm just pushing buttons, and so, somehow I deleted your message. And the name is written uh, in another language. So if that's you, okay, I got this one. It's heated, and I work outside. I'm not a taxi driver, but I work outside on a parking lot, and I have a booth, but of course, it's just the nature of employers to use the same equipment they had last year and not necessarily modify it. So uh, I may run the risk of my employer actually watching this video, so I'm not going to go too in depth. But um, the employer offered to buy me a heater for this booth, and I thought of a long time ago. I worked in the same scenario, and the heaters we had then were kerosene heaters. So I didn't really want a kerosene heater in here, because it's kerosene. But I wasn't listening to what he was saying. Sometimes we hear something today and we go by our old impression. Listen, young people, don't do that. things change. I actually found a heater that's operated by propane. It's a little small one. It's pretty handy. If I don't drive in, or if I don't ride in, I don't want to say drive, you know why. If I don't ride in, I can actually put it in a bag and take it on the bus with me. And if I really wanted to, I could put it in a bag and, oh, well, thank you, SR. I don't know. It's a gift because I didn't go to school to learn how to do it. When I was in school, I was mostly thinking about girls all the time. Anyway, I digress. I didn't take speech lessons like some people do. So it's just a blessing. And it's part of what I'm called to do. It's part of my journey. It's part of my calling. You have something that you are good at as well, young person. Thank you. Thank you for that. And others have accents that I just love. I would love to hear someone talk in another language on here. There are other languages throughout America, but when they come around me, I love to hear their accent as well. I think everyone does that, but anyway, I digress. When I started with my neighbor, I would go to Applebee's, and what they had back then was you could get two meals for 20, either $20, then it went up to $22, and then it went up to $25. Not all at the same time, but eventually it is now on two for 25. And if you ordered it online, you're not going to be successful getting two for 25 because they got this menu. They just keep giving you suggestions. Add this, or you have to choose one of these or something like that there. So it was just easier to just call it in because I tried it that way for a while, and I never got an order, even when it was two for $20. I never got an order under $30. So I just stopped doing that, and I went into Applebee's. I just went in and ordered whatever I want, or I would just call in instead of trying to order it online. Okay, so I would buy one of those, and I would give my neighbor one of them. So sometimes I would knock on the door and ask them, "Hey, do you want one of these?" Now these meals from them, they look like the meals you get from a new business called Factor. If you've ever seen the meals that Factor makes, they got their own trucks and everything. They're in the little black containers, and it's enough for one. All right, so I'm single, and I'm not really all into cooking all like that, but I'm also not into cooking. I'm also not into spending $100 a week for 5 meals. Unless I just eat one meal a day, that wouldn't be apropos for me. That would just be expensive. And with my financial situation right now, I might not want to do that. You can't join anything without signing up for auto pay and what's your checking account number and stuff like that. You young people, you're doing too much. Okay? How long have you been blogging? I mean, your channel, streaming. Oh, thanks for reminding me of that, SR. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers. And there are functions that you can add when you have 1,000 subscribers. Like you can put a donate button on there under the thumbs up, thumbs down, share. Uh, there's another button on there. It says, "Oh, thank you for that." If your channel isn't marked private, I should be able to subscribe back to your channel. So I have subscribed back to everyone who subscribed to me because it's not that many people. so if YouTube told me that, hey, you got a subscriber SR, and if it was your name, I subscribed to it. Okay, at SR dash SR. What is that? ZS 6NK. All right, so that's SR. All right, I'll try to look you up just by I'm typing in at SR dash ZS6NK and make sure that I subscribe. I'm back to your channel. So if you said you've already done it, you should probably already see that I've subscribed. I'm back to your channel. Okay, so anyway, at some point, me and my neighbor's relationship kind of went south. I don't know. I know what it was because she is her mentality is different than mine. Now, it could be different because she's a female, and it could be different because she is probably going to stand in the line colonizer as opposed to standing in the line of the colonized. Because she just she just grows. She's like a weed. She does stuff. She's one of those kind of people who are really good with doing stuff outdoors. If she wanted to, I believe that she could make one of those fountains outside with rocks and bricks and dirt and stuff. But my problem is she just went too far. There was an area where that was good, and then slowly but surely she came and encroached. So that kind of had a problem because I encroached back, and the colonizer mentality resents that and fights back against that. So we have found ourselves in a dilemma, and it's been going on for a few years. It got so bad that when I went out to turn over the yard and do the yard work, she would run out with a pitcher of water and just douse me with it. So, in America, we got this thing, you're not supposed to hit women. But I tell you what, you can sure act like it. It'll startle one at least. But anyway, I'm just getting to the point where, all right, we're not making any progress to what I want. So I did put her needs ahead of mine. I thought about her particular, whatever. But, at some point I'm like, hey, I don't want to look at this yard because anymore, because she uses weeds and those little flowers or whatever they're called, or plants, that when they burst or whatever, when it's time to pollinate, they turn it, and you can hold the stem, and it's white and has these little white things on it. You can blow it, and all those little white things go wherever they go. And now the problem with that is, if I have a manicured yard and I take care of it during the spring season, and these little white things come in and start landing in my yard, that's annoying, because now I got to go out and pull them out. Because if you have a manicured yard, that sort of thing is a weed. Okay, so anyway, we just fell off of that. So, new people, young people, you're going to have a different kind of relationship with neighbors than you did when you were uh, living in a family. Okay, so you're going to have to be patient. Um, when you live by yourself, young people, you kind of are the king of your household. But outside of that, you're really not, because other people are the king of their household. Oh boy. Sheesh. All right, so kind of get ready for that. Okay, so anyway, this is the reason why I started this video. Is because I'd like to listen to positive things so I can come and speak to you guys and tell you something that you didn't heard, because you haven't heard. You don't watch the same channels I do, and if you did, it seemed like you would be a little more vocal, and maybe what we would be more than just friends on YouTube. Okay, um, because this stuff is really good. Most of the times, you're going to find people that are positive. They're going to say something about that Bible. Now, I know you don't want to hear this, and I don't know why I know that, but people who want to talk about the Bible, they talk about the Bible often. So people who don't talk about the Bible, okay, there are two types of people. There are ones who were they grew up in church, and people who have never been to church. So I usually deal with those two. So but so most of the more popular YouTubers, they don't really talk about the Bible that much, but there's another category that are popular that do. Okay, now they're not giving sermons, but they'll say quotes from the scripture. Okay, stuff like that. There, so I'm one of those kind of guys, but I'm not religious at all. I just find that these scriptures are good for profit. They're good for correction. Okay, so what I just did was I just said a scripture. All right, so I just try to make it conversational instead of telling you uh, John 3:16. Okay, because the people that I'm actually reaching don't know that what I said was a scripture just now, but they heard it and it might have clicked with them. So that's my style. I try to make it conversational, okay? Because I'm not a pastor. Okay, I'm not a pastor. I'm not religious. I do want to go to a church and start some type of outreach, and churches are pretty much the places where you would go for something like that. Okay, because they're more than willing to have you come in. Okay, so anyway, full stop, and this is why I started. Okay, it's like if I can, you can. One of the things that I found that I was good at was singing, and I found that out. Not, I wasn't particularly crazy about my singing ability, but I was always a singer, uh, but not a soloist. Okay, and once I found out that I was good at being a soloist, it was because I actually asked someone who was good at soloing, and they told me, well, what I need is a track. TRAC, TRAX. All right. And there's nothing new under the sun. And what a track is in 2026 is what we used to have back in the 60s and the 70s. They, on one side, the group would sing the song. Okay. And then on the other side, it had the instrumental. Okay. And you could just turn it over and you could just sing to that. It wouldn't have any. I'm not sure, but I don't remember if it had background singers on it. I doubt it. Okay. Because you have to pay people to come and sing. So if your song that had the instrumental on the back went viral, then you would have to pay the backup singers. So what they would do was the group would sing on one side, and then we would turn it over. It was on a record that we would call a 45 RPM. Okay. Hey, Ararasham, Ararashime. Okay, I hope I didn't butcher that. Chances are pretty good. Okay, so now what you guys have in 2026 is the same setup, but you use CDs, or they call them tracks, but you don't flip them over. Okay, and the tracks, since they can hold so much data and so much information, uh, it would play that song in different ranges. So if you're a soloist, well, you would have a different range than the person who is singing. I mean, if I want to sing a song with my voice range, it would have that choice. So track number three might be the voice range that I would use to sing that song. So on track one, it would be the soloist singing the song. Track two, it would be just the instrumental and whatever range you are, one, whatever range you are, two, whatever range you are, three. So whenever you go to sing it, you would tell the person who's going to play it, hey, play track number three. Okay? No, all right. So that's when I figured out that I could sing a solo. All right. So I'm telling you this because it's connecting to what I'm getting ready to say. All right. It's like, if I can, you can. Okay. This was part of the ladies' video frequency tuning videos on TikTok reaction. Oh man, I should have wrote down the lady's name because I know what it's like trying to find a video on YouTube. But you'll know the right one when it gives you the suggestions. And she showed it, she played it, either she played it within the last week. So it should still be up on top of the suggestions. Okay? All right. So I want you to watch the same thing. Next time I try to do something like this, I'm going to write down where I got the information from. Because whenever I share a video that I'm watching with someone, if I think that video has something in it that would help them, well, I'll share it to the text message, and then I'll also indicate what minute and a second, so that way they can just go straight to it. Because these reaction videos tend to be 20 minutes to 30 minutes long. So I want them to go straight to the part I want them to, go to. All right. So I'm used to sharing the videos that way, so I don't necessarily write the name because they will click on the link. So my bad. Okay. So it's like, if I can, you can too. Like, it's so fascinating to me. Like, I just started to believe in myself. I don't remember exactly when I started to believe in myself, but I remember when I started to believe I could sing solos. All right, because something inside of me told me I'm a better singer than that person. Or that person inspired me. So I got my confidence because I listened to someone else. Okay. It's so fascinating to me. Like, I just started to believe in myself. All right. So this is what I need you to do, you new people. It is your turn to be in a role of showing what you learned and showing what you can do. And it would seem like when you see people doing something good your age, it seems like they're doing it better than you would, okay, or better than you can. I'm telling you, if you believe that you can do it better than they can, or if they inspired you to try to be at least that good, that's when you begin to believe in yourself. Okay? None of us spends any time around a CEO. Anybody on here know CEO? Oh, I'm today's old. Let me see if I can pronounce your name right. A Warson. A Warson me. All right. I tried. These are Dollar Tree glasses. So I could see far away with these, and I can't see close up. I can see it starts with an A and ends with an E. So I did order some glasses from my optometrist, and we'll see. I'll probably get them probably by Friday. It doesn't take them that long. Okay. And I could see up close, far. I could see at night. I could see signs and stuff. And I need to get some of that stuff that cleans your windshield, that makes it really clear. I have to get some of that because I live in the city, and the problem with living in the city is when it rains, that water and oil and grease and rubber, it kind of gets up on your windshield. Okay, and then if you don't clean the inside of your windshield, holy moly, and you got bad eyes, you're just a walking, talking fender bender on wheels. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I digress. Okay, so it's like if I can, you can too. Like, it's so fascinating to me. I just started to believe in myself the other day, and now it's like I can do it now. Like, it's like I don't know what it is, but I can do it. Like, all right, now this is somebody else. Um, I copied um, I copied the transcript. Oh, and actually, if you could find the right video that I'm talking about, this starts around 19 minutes and 42 seconds. And I went all the way up to 20 minutes. And I figured, all right, that's enough. Because I was going to print it, and it's 2 pages. So, I'm like, hey, you know how ink is, or how expensive it is. All right. It's like, I don't know what it is, but I can do it. Like, I feel like I can handle it. I can do it. I can get things done. One of the things that I found recently, probably in 2025, was I found that I could actually journal. I could actually write things down. Uh, I wasn't really good at it because I've never really journaled before. If I ever wrote a note, I wrote it on an envelope somewhere and hope I referred back to it or something. Chances are pretty good by the time I got back to that particular envelope, I had already moved on to something else. So, well, I'm not getting anything done. I'm thinking I'm getting things done because I wrote it down. But as far as my plans being actionable, I don't think I actually got as much done as I was thinking I got done. I was a good planner, but I wasn't a good follower upper. I didn't follow things up. And I'm liking following things up. Now that I've moved my journaling technique up to pieces of paper and printing the transcripts and stuff, I can cross off whatever I put on the list after I got it done. Okay, as opposed to leaving pieces of paper on my little end table there, and uh, I'm crossing stuff off. I got little books and stuff that I used to journal in, and some of them were crossed off. Some of them weren't. Sometimes I wrote things and I forgot. Okay. All right. So on minute 19 and 55 seconds, if, okay, I can do it. I can get things done. So this was just chill. This was just a chill video to hear different perspectives and awareness. So what I'm what I'm trying to encourage you young people to uh, the way things are now. People say it's hard to get a job. I don't know. I was retired and I actually got called back to work. Somebody asked me to come back that I used to work for. All right. I have this little technique I use. I like to leave a job with a good reputation because I always want to be able to recommend someone. I was always thinking like that. And then as time went on, I found that if you recommend somebody, if they, you know, mess up or something, that kind of makes you look bad. That's a tick on you. But so I didn't do it as much, but I still would try to work in such a way that the person who I am doing a recommendation to, they would consider whoever I was recommending. So, young people, if you are looking for a job, ask someone you know that's working. Is that company hiring? Okay, and you could find jobs that way. A lot of times, people are at their jobs, their employers ask them often, "Hey, do you know anybody who would like to fill this job out or something?" That happens a lot, and I'm pretty sure it happens on most jobs. But we don't ask, and people may have the impression that we're lazy because we don't work. We're struggling. Okay, so the way it might translate to someone who works is uh, they may not recommend you. They may not come and say, "Hey, get your life together." My job is hiring. They may not talk to you like that, but that doesn't mean that that job hasn't asked them if they know somebody else. Okay, so there's ways to get jobs. This is not a 101 ways to get jobs videos. I want to encourage you. I want you to know that you can do things. You cannot become a CEO of someone else's company because they already have a CEO for that. When I went to business school, I literally thought that since I worked next to a major bank or something, I literally thought that after I graduated, I would go to that bank, fill out a job application, and get a job there. That's literally how I thought. I wasn't thinking about going uh, to a Fortune 500 company or anything like that. I was literally thinking I would get a job across the street at a corporation. But fortunately for me, I got an opportunity to uh, run a small business. It was just a little hallway cafe, but I would have never considered starting or building a hallway cafe. Just wasn't on my radar. I would have purchased stuff from it, but I would have never thought to do it. So I had I guess a corporate job, but I was a clerk, and I didn't see myself really moving up in that company. But I liked it because I like people. I just like them. Uh, it's very seldom that I'll chastise someone or correct someone. So if you're listening to me, I'm not trying to correct you or chastise you. I'm trying to help. All right. I'm trying to tell you things that work for me. I made it to this age, so chances are pretty good the things that work for me are things that you're going to experience. And I want you to make these choices so that you can be what you were created to be. You're going to have anxiety if you're not. And anxiety isn't a 15-minute thing. Anxiety is like an impression. Somebody stamped you with anxiety, with ink that's not really that easily washed off. Yet, I want you to consider that you might have a mild form of PTSD. Did something happen to you in the past that isn't what you think PTSD is, but it actually is? I thought that PTSD was for people who went to war. I never thought that things that shocked me, somebody calling me the N word, could cause PTSD. I never thought that, but it did. So don't go with your understanding. I used to go to church, and I don't know, I guess every Sunday there would be a time when they would ask, does anyone have a testimony? And a testimony is just you giving God credit for whatever good happened. All right. I don't know anyone who ever gave God the glory for something bad that happened, unless they were able to follow up on that and something good came out of it. Because it's very difficult to get something good out of something bad. So don't follow that as a line of reasoning. Just let it be something you heard, new people. Okay, so I guess that's all the responses that I'm going to get. So I just want to ask you, buy me a cup of coffee. I'm at Cash App, Ricky D, Rickey, the letter D, 413. Thank you in advance. Do it now so you don't have to think about it later. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And again, I don't want to repeat, I'll like and subscribe to your YouTube channel. Okay, see ya. If there are no more questions, anybody? Anybody? Okay, so I hope you heard something new. I hope you heard something that you can use and uh, be nice. Give somebody a couple of dollars. We've learned that it's in giving that you receive. All right. So, for example, what is it an example of giving and receiving? If you give a seed to the ground, you will receive a plant or a tree or some grass that grows every year, that gives back every year. Find things to give that give back to you. Okay? You have to avoid giving into black holes. People who they just borrow all the time. That's just what they do. They're it isn't just you. It just seems like They borrow from you a lot, but they are just borrowers. Okay. So some people are just takers, and they don't think that it's bad. They don't think anything's wrong with that because they keep doing it. So you want to try to avoid giving to people like that. Now, you're going to read a story about a person called Lazarus who was, I guess, a paraplegic or something. So they used to have to pick him up every day. You want him to go outside. And you know what? And they would leave him at the gate of a rich man. So a gate of a rich man uh, isn't like our front porch where you go outside and you can sit on the porch. Now, a gate is probably a little further back, like wherever your fence line is. All right, so kind of look at it like that. And they would lay him there. And I guess their thinking was, eventually the rich man will give him a couple of bucks. So apparently, that did not happen because whenever he passed away, being a paraplegic, I think they, I think they go um, unexpectedly. I think that like they might die in their sleep or something. I don't know. I don't know. I've never researched it, but thinking about this particular story, he actually died, and it's a coincidence that Lazarus didn't know that the rich man died before him. And the guys who were bringing them around, they didn't know that the rich man died because it wasn't like they would drop Lazarus off and then go knock on their door. Hey, Lazarus is here. No. To keep in mind that they mostly wanted to get Lazarus out of the house because you can't leave somebody in the house all day because of the smell. Basically, let's keep it real. All right. We are smelly people. Fish and relatives stink after 3 days. Test me on this. Okay. Listen, young people, you're staying with your parents and uh, you're trying to make it, but you're not thinking that you stink to others. All right. But they'll constantly tell you, uh, clean up your room, clean the dishes. They'll constantly be on your case about things that you're doing that stink, if you think about it. Okay? Oh, look, I've been at work all day. I just want to come home and uh, lay down or whatever. Okay, that's fine. But when you sleep, you fart. You don't smell it. You're asleep, and everybody else can smell it. Okay? Doesn't matter what age you are. You first come out stinking. That's the first thing you do is poop your pants or your diaper. All right? And there is this little known miracle that people experience that they don't really talk about so much. And that is a baby poop doesn't have a smell for a very long time. Who knew? Like baby deer or does, that they don't have a scent. Okay? Watch National Geographic and you'll find stuff like that. Well, humans are like that too. So babies don't have a smell for quite some time, but once that smell kicks in, whoo, boy, everything smells. The pee smells, the poop smells, the belches smell, and you have been a smelly human being since then. But you just get used to it. But others who smell it, uh, your whatever you expel, it has particles in it. They tell you don't keep your toothbrush in the bathroom without it being in one of them toothbrush things. It has to be in that because when you flush the toilet, I found that throughout our lives, men, we are reminded to put the toilet seat down. Okay, uh, there's a couple of things that happen. You can go to the bathroom and flush the toilet when you're done, or you can close the seat and flush the toilet. You know what I found? That when I flush the toilet after, and if I do that for a while, like maybe a week, because I go to the bathroom maybe 2 or 3 times a day, uh, stuff gets on the seat. Stuff gets on the toilet seat. I never knew that. My mom, she was a really good, yeah, she really took care of us because I've never seen that in my childhood where the marks that I'm getting on my toilet seat, the toilet seat lid, uh, I've never seen that. So my mom, she was very clean, kept keeping up behind us, and we had 7 kids and cousins. So, uh, so young people, one of the things that you're going to find out is that you're going to have to clean the bathroom, especially if you're a man. Okay, because you're sprinkling all over the place, and the toilet seat is wet, and this phenomena with the toilet seat is it gets this little orange stuff around it. I hate that, and I wish that they would come up with a better design. Somebody has to come up with a better design. I'm gonna go to the drawing board and I'm gonna come up with that invention. How to get one of those toilet wax rings that don't ooze out, and it's terrible. It's when I and it happens weekly. Some if you got a good parent, and if you don't see that little orange ring, that is a good parent. That parent is I'm cleaning that bathroom when you're not around. So if you have like a stay-at-home mom, don't be all uh, facetious with your little um, summarization of her situation, because a staying-at-home mom, if you have more than one child, that's a job. That is a job. It's tough enough just having one child, especially if you have a child that has uh, a mental thing. They got ADHD or something like that there. Holy moly. So we're not thinking about that. We're thinking that our kids are going to come out like us and that they might not. It depends on karma. Sheesh. You can get one that's really a handful. You can get one that's uh, paralyzed or something. You could actually have a child that the doctors will tell you, hey, this child is going to be brain dead. It would be better if you would not have this child. Could you imagine that? And then you're going to be like, no, it's mine. Um, I'm just glad that never happened to me because I would be one of the ones that be like, no, it's my child. I'll take care of it and I'll raise it and stuff. Man, you will have a child that will literally make you cry. Literally. Uh, because number one, they don't know. And number two, you can't whoop them all the time. And it's frustrating. You're always cleaning up behind them. You're always fixing something that they broke. It's kind of like that with the creator of heaven and earth. He's always running behind us. He's always cleaning us up, and we don't see it. We kind of take for granted that the creator of heaven and earth is going to look out for us, and that's kind of how we are with our parents. And eventually you will have a moment of clarity, and when you win your trophy, you're going to be standing there. I want to thank my mom. Okay. Um, and if you are old enough to win some type of trophy or some type of award, I'm talking about when you reach the age of when you're like on your own, and you made accomplishments that helped you get this award. Not like the orange guy who got the Golden Globe Award or Humanitarian of the Year Award, and somebody who won it gave it to him. He didn't actually win it. Is that true? Holy moly. I have to be careful with him because he is clearly the man that the majority of the people that people love to hate. He's easy to hate. And he just, near as I could tell, he's just being himself. I don't think he is an evil person because I don't really believe that there are evil people, but they could really do some evil stuff. So I'll at least go that far. If you say he did something, chances are pretty good. I'll be like, yeah, he probably did, as opposed to thinking, give the guy the benefit of the doubt. He has so much fake news. Literally, it's fake news. It's literally AI. It is literally. Here's one thing I noticed when we had the stock market crash. Since he's been in, my, my stocks and investments really didn't go down. I mean, my stocks and investments have this push and pull. Sometimes they go down, sometimes they go up, but it was like that before he got in. So what it, whenever whatever I invested in, and if it went down too far, young people, that I would sell it or buy something else or trade it. So if you invest in something like uh, the Black Wall Street coin or Black Wall Street on Coinbase, if you invested in it when it first came out, it did really well, but then it went down. But now it's doing really well again. So that's just the nature of stocks. So I don't want to just go over that, but it's called Black Wall Street. Remember, there was a literal Black Wall Street in our lifetime, and it was successful. It wasn't uh, Beverly Hills successful, but considering the odds were stacked against it, there really wasn't any reason for them to be successful. Um, we would compare that to projects in 2026, and you wouldn't expect a George Washington Carver to have grown up in the projects, kind of thing. So uh, be of good cheer. There's an idea in you. There's something that you have to offer, and whatever it is, you don't have to figure it out. Whatever it is, it's whatever you do right now. Whatever you do when you're on your own. If it's listening, that is a gift because you can say what you heard. Jesus said it like this: I only say what I heard the Father say. And that is worth uh, emulating, saying what you heard someone else say. Imitation is the highest form of flattery, young people. Everyone who has a successful TikTok account, Facebook account, they imitated somebody else. Okay? All right, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I didn't get anybody else to come on. So, love y'all. See ya.